Week 11 of the NFL season began with another less than memorable Thursday night game, as the New England Patriots beat the New York Jets 27-14 as 13.5-point favorites. What will the rest of the weekend have in store for bettors? Our NFL handicapping team of Ed Fung and Matt Jacob combined to give their best bets for Week 11 of the NFL season. This article will be updated throughout the weekend. Odds courtesy of BetMGM and are subject to change. Washington Commanders vs. Miami Dolphins -2.5, 47.5 in Berlin. Jacob. Tua Tagovailoa has been very much like a box of chocolates this season, you never know what you're gonna get. For example, the Dolphins quarterback has failed to eclipse 205 passing yards 7 times in 10 games, falling short of 180 yards 5 times. His yardage totals in Miami's other 3 contests, 256, 261 and 315. In other words, it can be risky to wager on or against Tagovailoa. That being said, it's impossible to envision the 6th-year pro not lighting up the Commanders' secondary in Berlin on Sunday, because every quarterback has lit up the Commanders' secondary recently. In Week 6, Caleb Williams threw for 252 yards. Then Dak Prescott went for 264 yards. Then Patrick Mahomes racked up 299 yards. Then Sam Darnold erupted for 330 yards. And last week, it was Jared Goff's turn to have a field day, and he put up 320 yards. Also shredding Washington this season, Geno Smith 289 yards, Jordan Love 292 and Michael Penix Jr. 313. That leaves Russell Wilson 168 yards in Week 1 and, oddly, Justin Herbert 166 as the only QBs who failed to torch the Commanders. Bet. Tua Tagovailoa over 238.5 passing yards -115. Cincinnati Bengals at Pittsburgh Steelers -5.5, 49. Fung. The Steelers are not a good football team. It's a testament to the coaching ability of Mike Tomlin that he has this team slightly above NFL average based on my adjusted numbers from this season. However, Cincinnati is much worse. With data based on Joe Flacco, I have Cincinnati 5 points worse than NFL average, mainly driven by an awful defense that most likely won't have edged Trey Hendrickson this week. In addition, I have Flacco as the 6th best active QB based on my adjusted passing success rate. This is not sustainable for the 40-year-old QB with a nagging shoulder injury. My model has Pittsburgh by 6.8 points. Bet. Steelers -5.5. Fung. Flacco gave Cincinnati an immediate reprieve from the turnover-prone Jake Browning, as Flacco didn't throw a pick in his first 3 games as a Bengal. However, he had 2 interceptions last week against Chicago. My interception model looks at interceptions and passes defended, and bad ball rate tends to be very predictive for a quarterback. This is why I still use data for Flacco with his other teams like Cleveland and Indianapolis in assigning the 61.8% chance he throws a pick against Pittsburgh. Chicago Bears at Minnesota Vikings -2.5, 48.5. Jacob. Not so long ago, Justin Jefferson was one of the NFL's most reliable touchdown scorers. To wit, the Vikings receiver kicked off the 2024 season with a 5-game scoring streak and notched 6 touchdowns in his first 7 games. Since then, Jefferson has scored 5 times in 20 games, 7 total TDs in all, and he's endured 2 separate 6-game scoreless droughts. During this 20-game stretch, Jefferson has faced the Bears on 3 occasions. He scored in 2 of those contests, including the 2025 season opener in the Windy City. Jefferson's Week 1 touchdown is one of 20 aerial scores Chicago has surrendered this season. Only the Jaguars 21, Cowboys 22, Commanders 22, and Bengals 23 have allowed more touchdown receptions. Bet. Justin Jefferson anytime TD +120. Los Angeles Chargers -3, 43.5 at Jacksonville. Jaguars. Jacob. You know the adage, be careful betting on West Coast teams that have to play early games in the Eastern Time Zone. The Chargers debunked it last season, going 4-1 SU and ATS in such games. This year, totally different story. In Week 4, the Bolts took a 3-0 SU and ATS record to the Meadowlands and lost 21-18 to Jackson Dart and the winless Giants as 6-point favorites. 2 weeks later, Jim Harbaugh's crew trekked to South Beach and barely held off the then free-falling Dolphins 29-27, failing to cover as a 4-point favorite. Finally, 2 weeks ago, Los Angeles went to Nashville as a 10-point favorite against the lowly Titans and prevailed 27-20. Kickoff time in all 3 games, 1 p.m. Now the Chargers are crossing the country one more time, and again it's a 1 p.m. start. 4 trips from Southern California to the East Coast in 8 weeks is brutal. And the Jaguars are clearly the best opponent LA has faced in this situation. It's the same Jaguars team, albeit without Travis Hunter now, that defeated Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs 31-28 at home in Week 5, and the same Jaguars who will be fuming after blowing a 19-point, 4-quarter lead in Houston a week ago.